Have you ever felt like your mind is just too full of worries, opinions, and old ideas, with no space left for anything new? Well, there's a timeless Zen story that speaks directly to this feeling, and it all starts with a simple cup of tea. Imagine a highly respected university professor, a man who had dedicated his entire life to study. He was known far and wide for his knowledge, and his mind was a vast library of facts and theories. One day he heard about a Zen master living quietly in the mountains, a man said to possess profound wisdom. Curious, and perhaps a little skeptical, the professor decided to visit him, seeking to understand the essence of Zen. He traveled for days, climbing winding mountain paths until he finally reached a small, humble temple. There he found the Zen master, a serene old man with kind eyes tending to his garden. The professor, eager to display his own intellect, immediately began to speak. He talked about philosophy, about logic, about the many books he had read, and the complex concepts he had mastered. He spoke without pause, filling the quiet air with his theories and questions. The Zen master listened patiently, a gentle smile on his face. He didn't interrupt, simply nodding as the professor's words flowed on and on. After some time, the master gestured towards his small tea room and said, "You must be tired from your journey and your talking. Please, let us have some tea." The professor, pleased by the invitation, followed the master inside. The room was simple and peaceful. The master calmly prepared the tea ceremony, his movements graceful and deliberate. He placed a delicate porcelain cup in front of the professor. Then he picked up the teapot and began to pour. The fragrant steaming tea filled the cup, rising to the brim. But the master didn't stop. He continued to pour. The tea overflowed, spilling onto the saucer, then onto the table, and finally dripping onto the floor. The professor watched in astonishment, unable to believe what he was seeing. "Stop, stop," he finally cried out. "It's full. No more will go in. Can't you see the cup is overflowing?" The Zen master paused, setting down the teapot. He looked at the professor, his gaze calm and direct. "Like this cup," he said softly, "you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" The professor was stunned into silence. In that single, simple moment he understood. All his knowledge, all his preconceived notions were like the overflowing tea. He had come to learn, but his mind was so full there was no room for anything new to enter. He had been so busy talking that he hadn't left any space for listening, for truly receiving wisdom. This story, known as the overflowing cup, is a powerful metaphor for our own lives. How often do we approach a new situation, a new person, or a new idea with a full cup? We are so certain of what we already know that we close ourselves off to different perspectives. We listen not to understand, but to find flaws and to formulate our reply. To truly learn and grow, we must be willing to empty our cup. This doesn't mean forgetting everything we know. It means setting aside our ego, our prejudices, and our assumptions. It means cultivating a beginner's mind, a mind that is open, eager, and receptive to new possibilities. Think about a conversation. Are you really listening, or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? Think about a new skill you want to learn. Are you approaching it with curiosity, or with the assumption that you already know the right way? Emptying your cup is an act of humility. It's acknowledging that no matter how much we know, there is always more to learn. It's creating mental space. When our minds are cluttered with the noise of our own thoughts, we can't hear the subtle wisdom that life is constantly offering us. So how do we practice this in our daily lives? It starts with awareness. Notice when your cup is full. Notice when you're judging, when you're resisting, when you're clinging to old beliefs. When you notice this, take a conscious breath. Mentally, just for a moment, set aside your opinions. Try to listen with the sole intention of understanding another person's point of view, without planning your response. Approach a task as if for the first time, paying attention to the details you might have missed before. Be curious. Ask questions. Be willing to say, "I don't know." This is the essence of Zen wisdom brought to life through a simple cup of tea. It's not about grand philosophies, but about a simple, profound shift in our approach to life. By emptying our cup, we make room for new insights, deeper connections, and true personal growth. We allow life to pour its wisdom into us, filling us not with overflowing noise, but with clarity, and peace. The next time you sit down with a cup of tea, perhaps you can take a moment to reflect. Is my cup full? Am I open to receiving? In that quiet pause, you might just find the space you've been looking for.